New York is fighting its largest outbreak of measles in the state's recent history. At least 112 people have been diagnosed with measles in Rockland and Orange counties since the outbreak started back in September, and at least 55 in New York City. But New York City's health department says the outbreak is not over, and the number of measles cases is rising worldwide. Want to welcome in Dr. Daria Long-Gillespie. Good to see you, doctor.
Thank you, Susan.
So when I originally think of this, an outbreak of measles, is it because parents are choosing not to vaccinate? And how is this coming back? We thought we were done with measles.
You're exactly right, and that's a great question. So we had eradicated measles in 2000 in the United States. What happened here is there was a pocket community of people who had elected not to vaccinate their children, and then they went to Israel where there's a measles outbreak. So it brings up the fact we're a global community now. All it takes is an unvaccinated child traveling to someplace that has an outbreak. They bring it back here.
And I remember there were fears and articles written that vaccinating your child, maybe all at once, or even the vaccines could lead to autism. Was that fear around all of this? Are we still feeling the effects of it?
We are. And really, we have taken a step back in terms of health in our country because of reduced vaccination rates. So exactly, people were concerned about vaccines and autism. So here's why there's a problem with that theory. In 2001, thimerosal was taken out of vaccines for the vast majority of vaccines that kids get. Yet autism rates doubled. Why is that? They think it's due to increased diagnosis and diagnostic criteria and tracking, because we weren't tracking it until 2000. And we have to mention, there was a study done by the anti-vaccine movement. They funded it, found no tie between vaccines and autism.
And do you still see it in your office or other doctors that you know that parents are choosing not to vaccinate, or are they seeing the ramifications and saying, look, I want to vaccinate?
We are unfortunately still seeing people who are electing not to vaccinate because they are hearing these fear stories and they're not realizing the real science. Every study that has come out in the past years has shown there's absolutely no tie between it.
So the measles outbreak, how dangerous is that? What could it lead to if a child does contract?
I am so glad you asked this. For one, measles is so contagious. If you're on an airplane, we've been talking about people being scared about Ebola. Yeah. Ebola is nothing in comparison to measles.
If you're
on an airplane and you're not vaccinated, you have a 90% chance of getting measles.
Airborne.
And you're right, exactly. It's not harmless. So 1 in 1,000 die. It also causes pneumonia, and it causes conditions that cause paralysis.
More susceptible to kids getting it? Or
so the children, especially the youngest ones, just like anything, they get the sickest, and they're the most likely to have death from it.
All right, Dr. Daria Long, thank you. So important to get your child vaccinated.
I'm so glad we're talking about this. As a mom and doctor, we really have to.
Thank you so much.